It's time to set sail on the Azurite seas. Is this the set where I win one? Oh, pretty please. I trigger our island and it looks like my time. But then Oswald flips a lucky dime.
Come on now, let's play some Lorcana. Just smash Fox into Pirate Moana. We'll link in quest and never stop. Sing half a lumps like jumbo pops. A smorgasbord of lore, it's Lorcana.
Did we make it in time?
I think we did.
Oh, I thought we were going to be late.
No, I think the doors are closed because they haven't even opened
Let me try
yet.
the door here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Whew, they're not even open yet.
Woo, hey, you look good.
Yeah, you like my tails?
I love your tails.
Little tucks and tails?
It's amazing.
Yeah, you're looking spectacular.
Thank you. Like my diamond-encrusted dress?
Oh, my. Those are rhinestones, right? Those aren't real.
No, they're real.
What? Did you
Yep.
rent them?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, you're looking good.
It's time for the S'more Awards, Brett. Can you believe we're already here again?
I can believe it because, in fact, it was the longest gap yet in between S'more Awards.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't realize that. It felt long.
Yeah, it was slightly longer than it has been in the past, so I'm more than ready. I am super, super pumped to find out who are the big winners from Azurite Sea.
I can't wait. We peeked to see who was ahead in the running about halfway through all the voting, and it's looking like it's going to be an exciting night.
There are some tight races, so we'll see.
Hey, how about all those reveals we got this week?
The whole set has been revealed. It is almost time for us to turn our attention to Arcasia's Island. Next week will be our preview episode.
I have to say, I think I know the card that you are the most pumped for.
I think anybody who's been listening to this podcast for any amount of time knows what I'm really excited for.
So there's a really cool Donald Duck card, right?
Yep.
And then they made it enchanted.
They made him enchanted. Now, when I first saw the Donald, I was like, ugh, why can't Donald get a legendary that is a true meta bomb staple card? You know, like all of his legendaries are kind of on the fringe. They're on the outskirts. So I was really hoping to see an incredible Donald Duck legendary that would be very, very playable in competitive decks.
Sure.
But I'll take a really, really beautiful enchanted in lieu of that.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the prettiest thing that I've ever seen. All the enchanteds are absolutely gorgeous.
They are. They're so quintessentially Disney.
Quintessentially Mary Blair.
Yeah, they have that Mary Blair 50s aesthetic.
You know, it's making me think that we're going to have a Bet You Didn't Know About Diz about Mary Blair.
I think that would be a great segment for next week.
Dear listener, if you don't know Mary Blair, that's okay. If you do, you know that she's so deeply entrenched in the history of Disney, in the very fabric of Disney and the parks and the movies and everything. I can't wait to share all that info with you.
You know what I'm excited for?
What?
More Sapphire Steel.
I know, I knew you were
I
going to say
can't
that.
wait to play Sapphire Steel, the deck I can't quit, because my goodness is that one-drop Belle. I call her a one-drop Belle because, I mean, she could be. The 3/3 Belle that is free if you banish an item. Oh my goodness, is that the card that Sapphire Steel needed? I am so excited for her.
You know, normally I say you shouldn't play any more Sapphire Steel and that it's a terrible deck and that it's just punishingly terrible for anyone to play or play against. But because it's Belle, I'll allow it.
Thank you. I'm so glad I get to bring back my favorite Lorcana deck name that I've made up.
What's your favorite Lorcana deck name?
So I used to call my Sapphire Steel deck, when it had Belle Strange but Special in it, I used to call it La Belle Dame Sans Merci, which is a play on a title of a Keats poem, the La Belle Dame Sans Merci, the beautiful woman without mercy. So calling it the Belle Dime without mercy, I thought was very clever. And so now I get to have a deck with Belle and Dime again, and I can bring back the best deck name. La Belle Dime Sans Merci.
That's going to have people freaking out at DLCs when they see that name
Yeah,
coming.
it's a big hit. I mean, it's right up there with Sisu on Ice, I think. It's catchy. Everybody understands the reference.
People are going to be like, wait a minute, Keats? Who am I playing against?
Is that a reference to an obscure Keats poem with a French title, even though he wasn't French? It's a really wonderful poem. It's like this kind of mythological siren woman, right? Anyway.
Sounds great.
That'll be on our English literature podcast.
Sounds great. I did yawn while you were saying it, but I'm probably tired from other things.
If you would rather we talk about John Keats and his lovely poetry, just hit us up on social media.
You can find us at Smorkana on Instagram and Facebook. Hey, we're going to a little Lorcana tourney later on tonight.
We are. By the time you're listening to this, we have already attended the Fox and the Hound tournament at Diversions, another one of their special format tournaments.
Ow! Yes, this is another one of those very creative, off-meta kind of tournaments here at our lovely local gaming store.
Yeah, to participate, you build a 30-card deck. You can only have one ink color, and then you also have a 4-card starting hand that can't be changed. You do draw back up to 7 when you start the game, but you get to guarantee 4 of those cards. And then you mash your 30-card deck with your opponent's 30-card deck and basically play from there.
It's pretty wild. We have to make sure that we don't have any sleeves that match our opponents. Otherwise, your cards could be lost to time forever.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that possibility. We should bring some extra sleeves.
Yeah, it's actually a really good idea. I'm glad I just brought that up because I hadn't really thought about that till I said it out loud.
So we made a hidden Inkcaster deck for the tournament.
Yes, we're safe to say that now because if anyone else brings this crazy deck made of mostly uninkables and hidden Inkcasters, we're a little bit screwed.
Yeah, we run 2 hidden Inkcasters in our starting hand just in case one of them gets banished, and then 2 inkable cards. We're going to go with a Clarabelle, the 1-cost Clarabelle that banishes an item, and an Ursula Deceiver, in case there's a key song that we'd like to get rid of. So basically, it's hedging against any whole new world strategies by having that Ursula, and it's hedging against a key item with that Clarabelle. Otherwise, they can just be inked, and then you play your hidden Inkcaster, and your opponent is hopefully drawing a whole bunch of completely dead, uninkable, expensive green cards.
That's the dream. So like we said, you make a 30-card deck. So last night, we played both of our hidden Inkcaster decks against each other, and it was pretty weird.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
It was just boards full of uninkables, and it was very uncomfortable looking. But I'm looking forward to that tonight. I'm very curious to see what other people have brought, what their creative solutions, sort of, to this weird tournament are, and how those matches go, too.
Oh, Katie, you know what I wanted to talk to you about, too?
What?
You know how we were thinking about Smorkanacon?
Yes.
I still think that could be really fun.
Yes, we've talked about Smorkanacon at length. It would be so much fun to gather everyone in one place and play some Lorcana and eat some snacks and talk Disney.
There's somewhat of a dearth of competitive events in between set champs up in New England. And so we were thinking, wouldn't it be so fun to have a little bit of a mini convention, like a mini DLC basically, and involve local vendors and, you know, definitely some good grub and some fun competitive events and some fun side events and make a little weekend out of it. If that sounds like something that we should do, if you're like, that sounds amazing, I would love to do that, maybe give us a shout. And let us know that you think it's a good idea. It's something that we're pondering and we're investigating day by day.
All the ideas we've had seem really fun for the Smorkanacon. We are great at throwing events. It's all we do all the time for our work in theater. So we're certainly not afraid of the scope of it. We just want to make sure that people will come.
Yeah, give us a shout. Hit us up on the socials.
Oh, they're opening the doors.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Let's go in. Let's go get our seats.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time for the S'more Awards, Azurite C Edition, live from the New Hampshire Living Room Theater. And now, your hosts from Cogsworth's Finishing School for Polite Gaming Society, Rebecca and Bartleby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another fabulous evening of the S'more Awards.
It is once again my great quarterly pleasure to see all of you congregated here and to celebrate this fabulous game of Disney Lorcana.
It has been nothing less than a thrilling set. Robotics have been concocted, Buckles have been swashed.
And now it is a time for reflection. A celebration, but of course, not an unruly one. For Lorcana is a realm of decorum, if nothing else.
Well said. It is always an honor to share the stage with you.
It is my life's great triumph, Rebecca. Remember, if we've learned anything from this quarter year, it is that dignity and sportspersonship must be stressed at every turn. Recall our incident with the French and remember not to emulate that behavior.
The presenters that you will hear this evening are community paragons. We are delighted to stand in their presence.
Each and every award presenter is to be commended for their prompt arrival, their punctuality, their diction, their time, their commitment, and their dignity.
As we speak about punctuality and timeliness, it seems to be appropriate to begin the awards.
The first award will be presented by Mr. Richard Burns.
What's going on, everybody? Dick Burns here from the Forbidden Mountain and Lore Chronicles. I'm happy to present the Golden Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bar Award for Coolest Card. The nominees are Simba, Pride Protector, Daisy Duck, Pirate Captain, Moana, Kakamora Leader, Yokai, Scientific Supervillain, and Baymax, Armored Companion. And the winner is Baymax, Armored Companion. We're going to have to spell that B-A-E for now on.
Baymax!
Yeah, Baymax!
Oh, he was on the art for the set. He was featured prominently. We're all excited for his debut in Lorcana. And here he is with a big win right off the bat.
He's certainly the coolest card. I don't disagree with this. Those other cards that were nominated are definitely cool in their own right, but Baymax was sort of one that got away for us. It took us a long time to get our hands on a Baymax.
Yeah, we didn't get our first Baymax until like a month and a half into the set, and we didn't get our fourth Baymax until like a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah, right.
It's nice to have that play set. And I did get to play him at one of the set champs I went to. I played him exactly once on the whole day. He did get me 2 lore and healed a Pluto, and that was great. I think that he has some untapped potential, too.
Certainly. And maybe with this new resurgence of your blue steel and all that great Sapphire support that we're seeing, maybe he'll have a comeback.
I also think that he could be good in Ruby Sapphire in a different kind of Ruby Sapphire list. Ruby has all of those self-damaging characters, and they haven't really seen a list that tries to really take advantage of Baymax with some of those self-damaging characters.
Good point.
Simba Pride Protector was in second place, and that is certainly a cool card as well.
The art alone for Simba Pride Protector is really cool. That, I think, might beat out Baymax for being really cool if we're just thinking like art factor. Simba looks like a baller, but I understand why Baymax took it by an inch.
Your attention, please, as we turn to the second award of the evening and its wonderful presenting team at Sprinkle of Ink.
Hi, I'm Ellie from Sprinkle of Ink, and we're back for the Set 6 Electric Ice Cube Award. That's the card with the best special effects. Your nominees are Tiana, Restaurant Owner, Genie, Wonderful Trickster, Peter Pan, Neverland Prankster, Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit, John Silver, Stern Captain. And the winner is Tiana, Restaurant Owner. I think we should go celebrate by going over to Tiana's place and picking up some beignets. How do you guys feel about that?
Yes, Tiana! I love this card.
Bring it home, Tiana.
Holy cow. We built a deck with this card in it, and we actually just took it apart last night in preparation for the new set.
It lasted the whole set, though.
It was awesome. I was sad to see it go. She's such a good card.
Yeah, we were playing her in Hyper Aggro Amber Amethyst with a bunch of bodyguards, and she did a lot of work. I think we started with 1 copy and ended up on 3 because she kept being so strong.
Yeah, we kept saying, you know what, this deck is okay, but let's add another Tiana.
Tiana had 40% of the vote, and the other 4 nominees basically split the other 60%.
Yeah, the runner-up is technically a Peter Pan Neverland Prankster.
Yeah, both of those cards have effects that you just don't see anywhere else. We've never seen the ability to completely shut down lore gain until X, Y, or Z happens. That's really, really neat. That's unique to Peter Pan. And then Tiana, of course, that basically pay to challenge effect isn't seen on any other card. So definitely a special effect and worthy of the Electric Ice Cube.
The next presenter for the next award is a well-read and well-learned creator of content in the world of Lorcana.
I also appreciate that she never speaks unless there is great purpose to it, and that she encourages silence at all other junctures.
We are speaking, of course, of the Lorcana Librarian. Take it away, darling.
Hello, Lumineers. I'm Sarah, the Lorcana Librarian, from Team Maelstrom and the Lore Library. I am so excited to see everyone dressed up so fancy and eating their very favorite snack. So, ladies and gentlemen, and Disney dreamers of all ages, it's time for everyone's favorite category at the annual Smarcana Awards, the prestigious Turkey Leg Award for Best Dumb Card. You know, the cards that make you say, what in the Walt Disney World were they thinking? Our nominees this year are truly special. We've got the White Rose, Jewel of the Garden, Bend to My Will, Moana, Self-Taught Sailor, Pluto, Guard Dog, and Gantu, Captain Crankyhead. He probably just needs a vacation to Alani. So, the award goes to Bend to My Will. To accept this award, we have, well, nobody, because they were all too busy being bent to somebody's will. So let's give a round of applause to Bend to My Will, a card that makes about as much sense as putting pineapple on a Mickey pretzel.
Bend to My Will, a card with very clear, easy to understand text.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
It's pretty straightforward, just kind of hits you over the head like a turkey leg.
Yeah, I had to struggle to remember what Bend to My Will does because it's so obvious. It's like when you have trouble spelling the word the because you've looked at it too much and it's too easy. That's what just happened. It was so dumb, I couldn't even remember it.
It's like, oh, it's that one, the one that just discards the cards.
Oh, right, the one that just deletes your hand. Cool, right, that dumb card.
It's awesome play in the set.
Sure, yeah, I think I saw it twice.
In fact, all of these cards saw play.
I would certainly say the White Rose saw a good deal of play. Pluto Guard Dog saw a good deal of play.
This was a super close vote. It was really, really close. Any of these could have won up until the last day or so of voting. So, not a runaway win. I don't know what that says about Azurite C, that the 5 nominees for dumb cards all saw play.
Kind of means it was a dumb set.
I don't know. I'm hesitant to go that far. It wasn't my favorite meta that we've had in Lorcana. I think I've gone on record saying that.
I mean, I don't think that saying the set was dumb is necessarily a bad thing. It's just like kind of dumb.
Just like a turkey leg. It's more of a turkey leg set than it is a golden s'more kind of set or an electric ice cube kind of set.
You don't walk by a turkey leg and go like, that's stupid, it shouldn't exist. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you look at it and you're like, that's kind of derpy. I don't want that more than ice cream.
Just a big stick of meat.
Although it does sound pretty good.
Quiet, quiet. I will wait until there's quiet in the house. Thank you. For it is now time for Missy Enchanted's presentation of the Golden S'more Award.
Hi, Illumineers! This is Melissa from Missy Enchanted. I hope you've been enjoying the Azurite Sea S'more Awards ceremony thus far. I'm here to present the Golden S'more Award for Best Combo Card. The nominees are Chip and Dale, Recovery Rangers, Sugar Rush Speedway, Finish Line, Genie, Wonderful Trickster, You Came Back, and finally, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And the Golden S'more Award goes to... You Came Back! Congratulations to You Came Back and those who voted for it. I can totally see why this card won from personal experience. I did have a Set Champs opponent top deck this card and win game 3. So again, congrats to You Came Back and enjoy the rest of the award ceremony. Happy questing.
Wow, the best combo card. A highly regarded award here.
You Came Back is a very cool card. It's a card that's going to be around. I think there are always going to be little opportunities to sneak it into a deck and try to break it. Combos really, really well with anything that quests for a whole ton. Combos really well with something like Mufasa. It almost lets you have a couple of turns in a row when you use it in conjunction with Mufasa.
Yes, I've had the pleasure of using You Came Back a couple of times in Limited because I never put it in a deck that I played competitively. But this card is pretty wrecked. And it was also the first Enchanted that we opened.
It was the first and only Enchanted we opened from Azurite Sea. We opened it in our first pack of Azurite Sea.
Yeah.
And then didn't open another Enchanted for quite a while, I guess. It was a 2-horse race between You Came Back and the Sugar Rush Speedway. Sugar Rush Speedway coming in second. I think both of these cards are cards that we're going to see in the future. I don't think they're going away. We're getting a lot more Sugar Rush Racers in the next set. We're going to see a lot of green action decks in the next set, potentially, with some of those green steel pirate synergies. So, a worthy winner, and one that we'll see more of.
And now, to present an award which reflects the beauty of the globe we are on. I can think of no presenter more suited for this role than the Sunflower Illumineers. It is my great honor to welcome them to the stage.
Hello, fellow Lumineers. Lycos 14 here, your favorite Sunflower from the one and only Sunflower Lumineers team. It's an absolute pleasure to be here again, presenting the prestigious World Showcase Honorarium, also known as the Best Location Card Award. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the incredible nominees. Sugar Rush Speedway, Owl Island Secluded Entrance, Rescue Rangers Submarine, Skull Rock, and the Galactic Council Chamber. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. And the World Showcase Honorarium goes to, drumroll please, Sugar Rush Speedway. From start to finish, Sugar Rush Speedway has no speed bumps, just a clear track to victory. Congratulations, Sugar Rush Speedway. You've earned this one, hands down.
This was our first blowout of the evening.
Massive blowout here.
Sugar Rush Speedway took home 58.5% of the vote.
Sugar Rush Speedway has been our biggest, I guess, regret from this set, which is that we didn't build a Sugar Rush Speedway deck.
We have one prepped and ready to go for the next set. Excited to finally try it. It was just something that we never got around to. Maybe because I was always playing Amber Ruby decks of different styles, and so a lot of our cards were tied up in those builds.
I think that's certainly a reason. It's one that we talked about probably at least every week when we played. We'd talk about, we need a Sugar Rush deck. We got to do a Speedway deck.
I played with the Rescue Rangers Submarine a bit, and it wasn't bad. It was a decent card, hard to get rid of, and usually was able to get me a few extra ink over the course of a game. It's just a little bit slow. And I have great hope for Owl Island still. I know it never saw play. I mean, it was in our theme song, so I thought it was going to have more of a presence. It's featured so prominently in the storytelling of Lorcana that I thought that card would be stronger, but maybe as with the Hexwell Crown before it, the prominence in the story does not indicate a strength in competitive play.
That half Hexwell Crown. Curse the crown.
As we approach the halfway point of the evening, allow me to remind you of the importance of etiquette. Remember to shake your opponent's hand upon entering or leaving a match, and to refer to them by their proper titles, be it Sir, Madam, Esquire, Duke, or Baronet.
Well said, Bartleby. It is always worth a reminder.
Hello, Illumineers. This is Heather from Stardust Games. I'm so excited to be here, and I hope you brought your best accessories because I'm going to be presenting the Golden Popcorn Bucket Award for Best Item. Our nominees for this are Scrump, Maleficent Staff, Transport Pod, Microbots, and King's Sensor Core. The winner of this award is Maleficent Staff. What's better than gaining lore on your opponent's turn?
Not a lot of great items in this set.
No, I wasn't really too worried about Scrump taking it all.
Yeah, the transport pod didn't exactly have a huge splash.
You know what is surprising that I think would have surprised us at the beginning of this set is that Microbots didn't take it. There was a lot of buzz around Microbots.
Yeah, we were hopeful that that deck would do anything at all, and it just didn't. Fun, though.
Certainly fun.
Maleficent Staff is kind of the winner by default, and that's what a lot of people thought, it seems, because it ran away with the vote.
Completely crushed, much like Maleficent does with her staff.
As in any game, there are heroes, there are villains, and there are those who perhaps call themselves villains, but couldn't be more kind. When I think of such a paradox, I think about rules of villainy, which should really be called rules of heroism. Ha 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 ha. I jest. Welcome to the stage, Rules of Villainy.
Good evening, we're the Rules of Villainy. I'm Villain Vince, joined always by my two co-hosts, Villain Andy and the Mayor of Lorcana, Brad. And don't you all look quite devious tonight? We're here to present the Mickey Pretzel Award, the best common card.
And the nominees are Dale, Friend in Need.
The White Rose, Jewel of the Garden.
Heffalumps and Woozles.
Stale the Azurite Sea.
John Silver, Ship's Cook.
Potato Cap.
He's making potatoes.
And the winner is...
Sail the Azurite Sea.
Ooh,
Sail.
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 Congratulations to Sail the Azurite Sea.
As expected, I think. Another slam dunk. In the middle here, we're getting a lot of big winners.
Yeah, I mean, I am surprised people didn't vote for Sail the Azurite Sea.
They might have out of spite, you know? I think there are probably some folks who are like, I'm sick of seeing that card. I don't like playing Sapphire. I'm kind of looking at you. I'm going to vote for the White Rose instead.
I'm all the other votes. Yeah, I mean, I really obviously don't like Sapphire. I've said it many times. But even I can admit that Sail the Azurite Sea is a great common card.
Spoiler alert, Sail the Azurite Sea was up for best card of the set, period. So it makes sense that it took home the best common card.
Certainly.
Oh, here comes the next award.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brittany from the Lorcana Muses. It is wonderful to be here tonight. I'm thrilled to present the Puffy Pizza Rizzo Award for the worst card. The nominees are Naveen's Ukulele, The Carpenter Dinner Companion, Galactic Communicator, Adora Beazle Winter Pop, and Training Dummy. And the award goes to... Training Dummy. Wow, it's a big cost to be a bodycard.
Love the Lorcana Muses.
Oh, yes. Goddesses of the arts, proclaimers of Lorcana.
Great to see them here tonight.
I'm so glad that they could make it. I'm sure they have busy social schedules.
Training Dummy, the big winner or loser, I guess.
Yeah, certainly deserving of Puffy Pizza Rizzo Pizza.
I know that this card gives Bodyguard of a fashion. I know it's a 2-cost item, but beyond that, I struggle to remember some of its text. And that's not something I usually struggle with. And so if I am struggling, it definitely didn't make any impact in the game.
I similarly struggle to remember its complete text, but I do not struggle to remember what it looks like because it's one of those cards that when you get it in a pack, you go, oh, Training Dummy.
Everybody's favorite Disney relic, the
Yeah.
Training Dummy.
Everybody's favorite foil to get, Training Dummy. What?
Galactic Communicator is also so bad.
Yeah.
In the same color that has Kit.
Yeah.
You pay the same amount as Kit, but it's a lot harder to use.
No
and
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like just Kit's essence.
It's Kit's soul stripped from his body and then defiled.
Stripped from his tiny teddy bear body.
And imprisoned in a little piece of metal.
Yeah, so.
Not great.
No. Well, that put a weird taste in my mouth, just like Puffy Pizza Rizzo Pizza. Oh, here's something that's going to refresh our mouths.
It is my pleasure to bring to the stage the wonderful duo from the Uninkable Podcast.
Good evening, Illumineers. This is Chris and Savvy from the Uninkable Podcast, and we are happy to be here to present the next award.
The Pickle Award for the doofiest card that doesn't even make sense.
And the nominees are Mr. Litwack, Arcade Owner, Sisu, Uniting Dragon, Alistair Cray, Ambitious Entrepreneur, Hades, Strong Arm, Hiro Hamada, Robotics Prodigy.
And the award goes to Hades, Strong Arm. What's doofier than paying 3 ink and banishing one of your characters simply to banish another character?
You know, at least the card is uninkable. That's something, right?
Hey.
Wow, a lot of great nominees in this category. Just like with the dumbest card, I think there's a lot of doofy cards in this set as well. Not to trash on the set, we're really not trying to, but I think there's a lot that could be considered doofy. Certainly all these nominees.
Mr. Litwack came in second.
And he's doofy just from the get-go.
Yeah. I declined to put his subtitle. It's just Mr. Litwack on the voting form, and I think that maybe earned him a couple of extra percentage points. Because he's just Mr. Litwack, and he's probably never going to get another Lorcana card.
What is his subtitle?
I don't know, like Arcade Owner, I think?
Oh man, that's boring too.
Yeah.
It couldn't be like Arcade Rockstar.
Yeah. Mr. Litwack, such a rock star.
Yeah.
Hades Strong Arm had about 48% of the vote, big chunk of the vote. And I think these are all the folks who pulled this card, put it straight into their binders and never looked at it again and thought, why is this a legendary?
That's the thing about it. And I think that's how he won, is that as a legendary, you look at it and the art's cool and it's all lining up, but the card itself is just so incredibly dooftastic that you can never play it.
No, he's strictly worse than every other option that does a similar thing.
Yikes. Sorry, Hades.
As it is time for the award for the fanciest card, I have to pause and reflect and give all of you in the audience this gentle reminder. When you are receiving an award, should you be so lucky, make sure that your hands have been washed before touching the award, and that you've washed them promptly afterwards.
Hand washing is critical before, during, and after Lorcana matches as well.
Without further ado, to present the Victoria and Albert's Award for Excellence, I bring you none other than a monarch, Clara, the Questing Queen.
Hi, this is Clara, better known as the Questing Queen TCG online on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. You may know me as a competitive player, and today I am here to present you the Victoria and Albert's Award for Excellence, meaning the fanciest card. So, who are our nominees today? We have Tiana, restaurant owner, Tinkerbell, queen of the Azurite fairies, Jeannie, wish fulfilled, Wendy Darling, courageous captain, and Alice, savvy sailor. And the winner is Tiana, restaurant owner. Congratulations to this wonderful card, and I wish you farewell and very good questing.
Tiana taking home her second award of the night.
Ooh, doggy.
Big winner.
Of course she is. I have no questions here. This does not surprise me. This only makes me happy. She is a fancy card. She is a classy, hardworking lady. She deserves nothing less.
Wonderful to have it presented by, I believe, the person who has finished best at DLCs out of all of the presenters this evening.
Certainly a queen, as the title states.
An off-meta queen.
Has Toby heard about Clara?
Oh, I think Toby would love to get Clara's autograph.
I think Toby would be best friends with Clara.
Yeah, probably. Some very fancy cards were up for consideration here, but, Tiana and her wonderful restaurant, a deserving winner of an award named after a fancy restaurant.
Much like Tiana's Palace, Victoria and Albert's puts class and fine dining first.
As the penultimate award of the evening approaches, may I remind you to validate your parking. You can validate your parking at any coat check on your way out of the theater. Rebecca and I see our function here as hosts as one of logistical import.
If the logistics are not upkept, we will descend into chaos, tragedy, and madness.
Greetings and salutations, my fellow Illumineers. It is me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at it again. Sail the Azurite Sea added several unique strategies to the game of Lorcana. During this time, a select few decks rose above the rest. I'm very happy, honored, and excited to present to you the Golden Smorgasbord Award for Best Deck. The nominees are Din Kong Farms DLC Australia winning Ruby Sapphire Din a Little Lore, aka Shark Attack Burn. Edmund Chu's North American Continental Championship winning Ruby Amethyst deck, featuring Quadruple Tremaine, Quadruple Library. Brennan DeCandio's Amber Steel, Diggy Hole. Harlan Sweet and Jack Shadow's Sapphire Steel Curve, Kiwi Birds. And Zach Bivens' Amethyst Steel featuring Quadruple Zeus. And your winner of the Golden Smorgasbord Award is Brennan DeCandio's Diggy Hole. I guess I'll have to keep that in mind.
Thanks for that, JDZ Quest.
A wonderful presentation of all of the decks that I think made the biggest impact across the meta landscape.
Certainly. I also would have voted for Diggy Hole. What would you have voted for?
I think that Dinkan Farm's Melbourne DLC deck is probably the best deck to come out of the whole meta. It's hard to play and kind of hard to wrap your head around. But I think that in the hands of the most skilled pilots, that deck is the best deck.
Sure. But for anyone to play, would you have gone for Diggy Hole?
Yeah, I think overall, when you look at what's the best deck, what's the one that sticks out as being the most prevalent throughout the entirety of the metagame, yeah, Diggy Hole was everywhere. Everybody played that deck. It's pretty easy to play, but it also has a high ceiling, has some interesting play patterns for an aggro-ish deck. A really, really cool deck. It won that early event down at Travis Collectible Show. Brennan had a great run with it, and it really took off from there, and it seems like everybody picked it up.
It's certainly a deck that's emblematic of the set. I will always think of Diggy Hole when I think of the Azurite Sea.
Something that's really interesting about card game metas, I will say, is that Ed's Quadruple Tremaine Ruby Amethyst list, I think, has an extremely good matchup into Ding Kong Farm's list.
Do you think either of them will remain intact going into this next set?
Absolutely. I think Ruby Sapphire is going to trend towards items and maybe away from Shark for a little bit. But eventually, depending on how the meta shakes out, we could see a return to Maui Shark for sure. None of these decks are going away entirely.
Oh, it's time for the last award! This is my favorite
award, yeah.
Thank you for indulging us this evening. Rebecca and I look forward to these evenings constantly.
It has been nothing less than a treasure to share this evening with you, Bartleby, and with you, dear listener.
And may I compliment the audience on the way they have comported themselves. They have been diligent in their execution of their manners.
No parking has gone unvalidated this evening.
Without further ado, Chris of Lorcana Chats.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chris from Lorcana Chats. It's wonderful to see you all here tonight, especially our guest of honor and Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Flounder. I'm very honored to be presenting this final award, the award you've all been waiting for, the Golden Dole Whip Float Award for Best Card in Azurite Sea. And the nominees are that pesky Lilo escape artist, Genie Wish Fulfilled, the infamous half-shark himself, Maui, the notorious Sail the Azurite Sea, and finally, Calhoun, Marine Sergeant. And the winner is that dynamite gal, Calhoun, Marine Sergeant.
I am surprised. This was a big shock. The biggest award of the night, and Calhoun takes it home over Maui Half Shark, Sail the Azurite Sea, Genie, and Lilo. That is wild to me.
It is some stiff competition, but I've got to say, I'm really not that blown away by the result. Similarly to Diggy Diggy Hole, right? I think Calhoun is emblematic of this set, and I'm always going to think of this card when I think about Azurite Sea. Everyone played her. Everyone talked about how great she was. I don't think I went a single set champ without someone talking about Calhoun being played, or this person played Calhoun, or then I played my Calhoun.
Sure, but it feels like every single Sapphire deck played 4 Sail the Azurite Sea, and not every Steel deck played 4 Calhouns, you know? And I think Genie was more prevalent than Calhoun in his respective ink color. Maui Half Shark is the linchpin of what we just said was probably one of, if not the best decks in the game right now. I mean, that is some stiff competition. And for Calhoun to take it home, I think that's a bit of an upset. I think it's really cool.
It is really cool. It's so much fun when we do the S'more Awards like this and we get to see what people think, because it is stimulating. And these are, results that we probably wouldn't have dreamed up. If we were talking about this, we wouldn't have agreed and we wouldn't have known what people really think is the best card.
It's really cool that these last 2 awards were among the closest. Actually, I think they were the closest races. The best deck race was basically an even split between all 5 options. And in the best card category, every option got at least, let's see, Lilo had 7% of the vote. Calhoun had 33% of the vote. Maui Half Shark was in second with over 28% of the vote.
It was a pretty tight race. It certainly was not a blowout by Calhoun.
What a compelling S'more Awards.
I had such a blast with these. And this, again, I don't want to harp on this, but this is from a set that we didn't love. So I am stoked to see what the S'more Awards are like in the next set.
All of the presenters of the awards were so great. It was so awesome having them all here, seeing them all dressed up, putting faces to names. It's just been really, really wonderful to have such a great crew.
What a true blessing.
You know what I'm going to do when we post the recording of the evening's festivities? I'm going to have links to all of their content in our show notes so that if anybody, for some reason, isn't paying attention to these content creators, they go and show them some love.
Certainly, there's no such thing as too much Lorcana content in your life. That is physically impossible. So check out all these people. They do all kinds of different content, too. They're not all podcasts. Some of it's video, some of it's Instagram, some of it's all kinds of things that you can get out there. So explore your options. Explore the world a little bit. Because I promise you, the world out there for Lorcana and Lorcana content creators is delightful.
Well, what do you say we go grab a flute of champagne and toast the evening?
Sounds fabulous to me.
Here you are, Catherine.
Oh, well, thank you, Breton. Here you are.
Thank you.
I put some raspberries in the bottom of your champagne.
Little raspberry champagne. That reminds me of the dream card that we have for the week.
It does?
It sure does. Here we have Bartholomew, hapless henchman. Bartholomew is, of course, a henchman of Ratigan in The Great Mouse Detective. He suffers an ignominious fate when he is devoured whole by Felicia.
A rough way to go.
His defining character trait is that he really, really likes alcohol.
You know how that's fun in a Disney movie to have a little mouse henchman be a drunk?
Yeah, the 80s were just a different time.
Yep.
But here we have Bartholomew Hapless Henchman, a 2-cost inkable ruby common card with 1 strength, 1 willpower, no lore pips because he's reckless. So you're expecting something to go along with this because why would you ever play a 1/1 reckless character that costs 2? He has the ability Champagne. When this character is banished during your turn, ready your other characters.
I love that. I think he's really strong. I want to play Bartholomew.
He's fun. I mean, you can try to set him up, right? You're going to need to play him. He's going to have to live for a turn, and then you're going to have to crash him into something. Basically, feed him to Felicia to get an effect out of the rest of your characters.
Sure, but if you get him late game, and you have these huge questers that aren't protected in any other way, or maybe they just have ward or anything like that, you can ready them and live your life.
He invites removal, but if that removal doesn't come, then he could swing a game for you for sure. He has the really eloquent flavor text.
Because he's drunk.
Yeah.
And he's hiccuping on alcohol.
The image is from the scene where Ratigan pours his champagne into a fountain and Bartholomew jumps into the fountain to imbibe as much of it as he possibly can. Again, this is from the G-rated Disney movie from the 1980s.
Just a moment for kids to laugh at the drunk mouse.
Yeah.
I think this dream card's brilliant. I can't think of a better dream card while we're sitting here sipping our champagne.
Well, I was thinking about how are we going to toast the evening? How are we going to celebrate? And I thought that Bartholomew would be really happy to be here at this moment.
R.I.P. Bartholomew. R.I.P.
Katie, what's next on the menu here at Smorkana?
Well, as you're listening to this episode, we are in Walt Disney World, living it up, eating snacks, riding rides. Next time that we talk to you, next episode, we will certainly have a rundown on our trip.
We also have that Bet You Didn't Know About Diz in store for you, focused on Mary Blair, to coincide with the release of those lovely 50s-style Enchanted cards.
It's a mega-packed episode because that's not all we're talking about.
Nope, it's our Mega Arcasia's Island preview episode as well. We're going to talk about all of the hits from the new set.
Mega preview next week.
Until then, you can follow us on social media. We are on all the major social networks. You can email us at smorkana@gmail.com. You can leave a tip for us in our tip jar at tiptopjar.com/smorkana. You can leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. If you've been listening for a while and you haven't done some of those things, we'd really appreciate it if you did.
Yes, we love hearing from you. It's been a pleasure to share the S'more Awards with you one more time here.
We'll see you back at the New Hampshire Living Room Theater in a few months when we get to do this all again.
Wahoo! Until next time, everybody.
Keep on snacking.